Ooh, ooh, boo! With today's fear-mongering nonsense agenda going on, especially when it comes to the usage of daily items or habits, we today not only make sure you lose any worries when it comes to using candles, but also fully enjoying them. You probably have seen it as well all over the internet over the last years, normal people and doctors appearing out of nowhere and warning everyone around about negative side effects when it comes to using daily products or going by any habits acquired over the last 10-30 years, especially when it comes to, for example, the examples of today's time, flushing toilets and inhaling the particles while standing next to it, when you're about to make yourself tea, using those bags, those tea bags that actually contain millions and millions of microplastic, using certain body lotion products, the package itself, plastic in general, and many, many more. You have to keep in mind there is an agenda being pushed, and the people should be worried about actually everything that they acquired and should do as told. They should not think about it. And when you think about it, all of those things that you might have seen over the internet over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 years, combine them all together over the course of a long period of time. The effects of all of those things combined might actually reach only 15 to 20% of concern to health, nothing else. Once again, there's agenda being pushed, and people should actually avoid what doctors have pushed over the last 5 years from 2020 to 2025. All those things, and a few actually prior to that as well, that they wanted people to do, those are the heavy side effects. Very concerning to health in general. But once again, an agenda is being pushed. In today's video though, it's all about candles. And when it comes to candles, their quality ranging from several bucks to several €100, their usage and its longevity, there are a few things to keep in mind to maximize enjoyment. Before you light a candle, ensure a proper start to begin with, meaning open up all the windows in your room. All the used up air prior to lighting a candle, combined with the CO2 levels, later on give you less oxygen to breathe. Also, depending on room size, you should every now and then, for example 30 to 60 minutes, open up the windows for 5 to 10 minutes. Unfortunately, we live in a society where all the obvious things are no longer obvious and you have to mention them because people are not able to think clearly. And I've explained that very well in a lot of videos of mine that you can watch if you're interested. Now, when you light a candle for the first time, whatever lighter you use, maybe a classic one like a Zippo, or you're using a jet flame, make sure that you not only hit the wick, but also a little bit of the wax below, so the wick can absorb the liquid and make sure to more efficiently burn from the start. Now, when it comes to burning candles, you also want to make sure that the wick is not too long, is straight up, and if it's necessary to cut it with a candle scissor or anything that you can cut. Make sure it's not longer than 1 centimeter in length, so that over time, while burning, the wick is not falling into one direction and then the liquid burning down. Meaning, you will create sooner or later, while it's burning over time, those tunnel effects. The tunnel effects will also appear if you are not letting the candle burn for extended periods of time. Meaning, depending on candle size, certain candles have to burn a minimum of 30 minutes to 2 hours, maybe even 4 hours if you have a very large candle in front of you. So make sure that you allow the candle to burn so you can avoid those tunnel effects if you don't want them to. Some people actually would like to have them because you might actually create certain lighting effects. Because the flame is covered. So you can create a certain scenario, a certain ambience that actually allows for a different lighting effect. These special candle scissors are also able to collect the particles you cut off and make sure that when you're burning your candle, nothing is of dust, of any substance next to the wax, so there will be no smell to it. For example, if you use a normal scissor or anything else, particles might fall all around, and when you're lighting it, create a certain unpleasant smell. And this way, you can simply just throw it off. The same goes here as well. As you can see, it's way too long. And depending on how long it's going to burn, if I were about to lighten it that way, it probably would about fall to the left and would start to burn a tunnel effect down below. So all I'm about to do is cut it. Now it's straight again and ready to go. Once again, depending on candle size, it has to burn at least a minimum of, for example, 30 minutes. This one probably an hour. The same goes like that. If I were about to once again turn it off, tunnel effect would about to happen. Do not blow out those candles in the traditional classic way unless you enjoy the coffee experience combined with smoke, which actually might be very bad to you, ranging from feeling dizzy, becoming tired, to actually getting headaches over time. There are certain tools that might help you greatly with that. For example, those candle bells and this one here and that tool. Now if I were about to turn off the light already, by keeping that kind of habit over time, I would create those tunnel effects that most people do not like. For this video though, I'm going to show how to turn it off in a way without creating too much smoke. A candle bell. You simply hold it over the candle until the light is extinguished. You wait a little bit and you're good to go. And there's way less smoke than if you were about to do it the traditional way. Now if I were about to use it without any smoke, I do not simply want to have that kind of smoke, right? Many people do not like to. There's another tool that you can use and there will be nothing left. For this method though, you need to wait a little bit longer, so there needs to be wax below. And it's that special magic tool. With it, there will be no smoke, there will be no smell, nothing. You simply come close to the wick and you push it down to the wax. Like so. And that's it. Way less smoke, close to zero basically. You straighten it up once again and you're ready to go. That is all. So to summarize it quickly, to make sure everyone understands everything, before you lighten the candle, make sure you open up all the windows in your room, let fresh air in, so you have more oxygen to breathe later on. Make sure that the wick is not too long, that it's straight up, and if you have to, cut it down. When you light the candle, make sure that you also not just hit the wick, but also the wax below, so the wick can absorb the liquid and burn more efficient from the start. Every now and then open the windows depending on room size, so you do not get a headache, you do not feel dizzy, you do not become tired after all. Depending on the quality of the candle and how much money you have spent, make sure that you, if you're not using it, cover it up, for example with a glass bell or any cover up to prevent the dust on settling down. Because over time, depending on the quantity of dust, the moment you start to light up the candle, there might be an unpleasant smell, an unpleasant smoke actually appearing, you do not want to have when you, for example, having a birthday party or you're having any special event going on. You want to have a fresh, proper start to begin with. And if you like the tunnel effects on a candle, for example, Then you simply have to turn off the light before the wax covers the entirety of the top. So for all the people who do not want the tunnel effect, wait at least until the wax covers the entirety of the top. Then you're allowed to turn off the light. You can also create your own candles. So if you have tunnel effects going on with different candles, and there's no way, for example, to reverse the effect, there are certain types. For example, if you're having a glass and there's a tunnel effect in the glass, you can cover up with certain materials, light it up, the heat concentrates inside, and it actually might melt all around and become even once again. And if you have those tunnel effects, you do not have to throw the candle away. At one point, for example, you can simply cut off the wax, combine it, and put everything in a complete different container, melt it basically by heat, and you have a new candle. You simply have to buy yourself a wick. That's all. When it comes to those candles with smell, with scent, make sure you do not burn it over the period of 3 to 4 hours, depending once again on room size. Because when it comes to the scent, it may be actually getting a lot of people headaches. So once again, make sure you open the windows every now and then you're good to go. That is all what it's needed to know about candles. Do not fear them. There's nothing to be worried about them. If you do, as I mentioned, as many people before have mentioned already, and if you keep certain things in mind, nothing will happen over time as well. Enjoy your candles, enjoy your atmosphere. Have a great day, have a great evening, have a great, wonderful ambience going on with your significant other, with your family, with whomever, with yourself. Love yourself as well. Have the courage to be yourself.